I think this series of meetings is very interesting for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that it brings people with different perspectives and different specialties together. And it acts a little bit like a kind of reality check. That is, I think one of the dangers of trying to help other people is that one tends to run ahead of oneself, especially if one comes from a part of the world which is very advanced and which has high technology. And I found for example, between yesterday and today, in different sessions, there were things that ought perhaps to be linked together. So, for example, today, we were discussing the wonderful development of the internet and all these gigabytes flowing around Africa and how much the situation has progressed since the early meetings we had. But then yesterday, we had something about how difficult it is to transport goods in Africa and how badly the system is working. That is not only because the roads are poor, but also because there is corruption in the transportation system and all sorts of problems of that nature. Now, you think, what does the internet bring to the average African person? Where is the progress going to be if the goods can't travel around? In the West, we have a system where you order something on the internet and 2 days later someone knocks on the door and says, here it is. Now, what is going to happen in Africa is that, well, the average African, he will see nice pictures on the internet, nice catalogues of all the things that he could buy if he were living in the West. And is this going to advance his situation, or is he going to feel even more frustrated than he felt before? The other thing I think we need to consider is whether we are measuring things practically in the right way. For example, is it useful to know that gigabytes are circulating around Africa, or should we not inquire gigabytes of what? And how relevant are the information which are circulating to the preoccupations and to the daily concerns of people in Africa? I think in some sense, this type of meeting brings us in front of a reality check, that we actually must make sure that what we are doing is really useful. And in that sense, it's extremely important that we should meet up like this between practitioners and people who are interested in this or that aspect of how we could improve things in Africa, and make sure that our wires don't get crossed.